Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons for another lick of the week. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a very melodic country folk style lick in the key of G. And it's being created by the notes that we can find in our G major scale in chordal form. I'm going to show you some techniques that you could use to create some melodic licks of your own, and also show you how I might jam in the BB's box over the backing track provided. You can also find the backing track that's been posted to this channel and many more backing tracks at youtube.com/jamtracks365. Now, let's get started with your lesson. Okay, a close look at the fretboard, getting started with our lick of the week. Since we're jamming in the key of G major, the lick that we're sharing today is coming from the G major scale. Here it is in its common position. But I'm going to be using the notes in that scale in a variety of positions. But what was really going on, the way I figured out how to play this lick, is I took that scale, the G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and I converted it to its chordal form. So the chords that I just played there, you can use to create a whole bunch of different kinds of double stop licks, and they also reveal different positions that you can jam in. So, the first chord that I shared was a G major chord. Alright, that was the 5th fret of the D string, 4th fret of the G string, and the 3rd fret of the B and high E string. Now the next note in the scale is A, and so I'll play A minor since all of those notes are in the G major scale. That's 7, 5, 5, 5 from the D to the high E string. Okay, so far you have G, A. You take that up a whole step, and you have B minor, G, A, B. Okay. Next we would have C major, which would be the same shape we had before, but now my ring finger is on the 10th fret. So 10, 9, 8, 8. Alright, that's the 4 chord. You take that up a whole step and you have the 5 chord. Alright, so now we have G, A, B, or A minor, B minor, C major, D major. Alright, the next note in the scale, G, A, B, C, D, E. E minor. That'll be right here. Alright, 14th fret root, 14, 12, 12, 12 on the D, G, B, and E. Alright, now the next note is a whole step up, but the next chord is going to be a diminished. F sharp diminished. Alright, so that's going to be the 16th fret of the D string, the 14th fret of the G, and the 13th fret of the B. Okay, you can also feature this note. That is the 14th fret of the high E string, so you can play that like this. And then finally, we're back to G major. We'll do it like this. And it's from those different intervals that we can create a whole bunch of different double stop licks. And it's all based off of this little movement here. Back to G major there. Okay, so if you want to play the major scale in chordal form reduce it down to just some double stop positions. A great way to do that would be to take the 4th fret of the G string, the 3rd fret of the B. That'll sound great over top of the G major. Then you can feature the A minor just by going 5 and 5, G and B string. You might bar it. You take it up a whole step. All right, now that is a little piece of the B minor. G major, A minor, B minor. All right, and next we have a little piece of the C major chord, that is 9 and 8. You take that up a whole step, we have a piece of D major. All right, another part here, we have E minor, 12 and 12, the G and B. All right, then we have a little piece of the diminished chord. That is 13 and 14. Okay, 14th fret G string, 13th fret B string. Take that up a whole step, and we're back to G major. Okay, now that you know what my basic thought process was behind building this lick, let's give it a shot. Real slow, it'll sound like this. Coming in after the 1 beat. Again, one more time, real slow. 1, 2, and Okay, so a little bit of minor pentatonic scale at the end there, but really it just starts off with that major scale sound. In that first double stop position, we're gonna slide up to the 4th fret of the G string, go to the 3rd fret B string, and then back to the 4th fret G. Next, we're going to slide up to that B minor position. We're sliding from 5th fret B string up to the 7th fret of the same string. Then go to the G string, 7th fret. Then put your pinky on the 8th fret of the B string. Then comes the 5th fret of the high E string. So far you have. Next we're going to slide up to the 10th fret of the high E string. Alright, so that was sliding from the 5th fret high E string up to the 10th fret. And then we're going to take a little tiny piece of that E minor shape, which happens to be the same as the A position of our G major chord. So you can see the connection between the relative minor. If you don't know what relative minors and majors are, click through this link right here for a lesson on it. Okay, so far we have next, we're going to slide up to the 15th fret of the high E string, where we'll find another G note. I'll play the 18th fret of the B string, and then bend up the G string, 17th fret, and kind of double stop it, okay? So I have, alright, so if you put all that together, we have Alright, that last part's going to take a little bit of practice and patience. Okay, then that sounds great over top of the G chord kind of coming in, but let's say the 4 chord came in, C major. If that was the case, I might just drop that bend down, because that would be a C chord, or a C note rather. That would sound great as the C chord came in. Some other options might include going to the BB's box in the key of G, which hangs out right underneath the 4 chord. Alright, so So that would be the 9th fret of the G string, the B string, 8th fret, the 10th fret of the B string, the 8th fret of the high E, and the 10th fret of that high E string too. So I can do this nice little bend on the B string for the G chord, put my pinky underneath it on the high E string, double stop that and vibrato, resolve there on that G note that we have on the 8th fret B string. Alright, you might also see me bend that note right here on the high E string, 10th fret, when the C chord comes in. And then back to my double stop bend when the G chord comes back. So many different options here, okay? So this is always a really safe spot to jam. But if you are looking for a little bit more real estate, follow that tip that I gave you earlier in the lesson. Alright, now you got so much that you can do up and down the entire fretboard. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Alright everyone, thanks so much for checking out this lick of the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much to my supporters at patreon.com/swiftlessons. I hope you're enjoying the extra perks. I got many more lessons coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia saying happy picking.